If you missed last week, I had a bit of a disaster. All of the hash boards in my S19s failed during an electrical storm. I decided to try doing an insurance claim. The claim was straightforward, approved, and paid out within 48 hours. I was left feeling a bit of a loose end after that. Everything happened so quickly. My home Bitcoin mining operation was just gone. So I took some time to have a think about everything. First, my electricity rate is going up nearly 30% at home in a couple of months. I've been thinking about trying to increase my solar power system to try and offset the extra power cost, but I just don't have the spare roof space. It's doable by installing something like a solar carport, but it's not going to be easy and it's definitely not going to be cheap. Also, Bitcoin mining is becoming so industrialized it has squeezed out most home miners. My gut feeling is you need to aim for a power rate around USD 7 cents per kilowatt or less to stand a chance. Next is the ASICs themselves. The best, most efficient Bitcoin miners are all three-phase. I have single-phase at home. I could change to three-phase, but it's also a big expense. Lastly, I was thinking about what do I actually enjoy about Bitcoin mining. And to be honest, I enjoy making things and trying to improve them rather than the actual business side. So I've decided to pivot. I'm going to shift towards Bitcoin solo mining. This is where you run a little Bitcoin lottery miner at home. They try and solve a Bitcoin block every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes you have another try or another entry into the draw. The chances of solving a Bitcoin block is very slim, but it's a little bit better than a lottery, but not much better. However, Bitcoin solo miners are cheap to run and low cost compared to full-size Bitcoin miners. I've narrowed it down to a couple of options. I've been looking at the Canaan Avalon Nano 3S. It's quite big for a home miner. It's 6 terawatts. They actually market it as a heater because it's got 140 watts of consumption, or at least at maximum power mode. It's not going to provide a lot of heating, but it might help take the chill out of a small room. When I have a look at a calculator like SoloLuck for a 6 terahash miner, that says you got a chance of 1 in 2,877 per year. I actually quite like those odds. It doesn't sound too extreme. The other super popular miner at the moment is the BitX the BitX 601 Gamma Solo miner. On AliExpress, that seems to be the cheapest one to get them when I'm in New Zealand. They're going for around 214 there. And I see there's also some for sale with upgraded Noctua fans for around the 280 mark. I think I'm leaning more towards just the cheaper one and not trying to overclock them. Compared to the one chance in 2,877, the BitX Gammas are more like one chance in 14,000, so it's going to be even harder to solve a Bitcoin block. One of the other projects I'd like to take on, and I've been thinking about for a while, is redoing my videos on how to build a Bitcoin node and a solo pool. But this time I want to try building it without using any parts from America. And I really like the ARM-based Odroid M2 board that's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's kind of like a Raspberry Pi 5, but it's much more powerful. It's got DDR5 memory, and it's got an NVMe slot, so you can just chuck 2 terabytes of storage in fairly easily. So that's what I've been up to this week, just regrouping and deciding my new strategy and moving forward. So I think there might be some gaps in my videos now where I start trying to produce some bigger ones, especially around building a node using an ARM-based system. I haven't really seen much people doing that. And also, I'll probably be getting one or two of these solo miners. So once they turn up, I'll create another video. So thanks for following my journey, and hopefully you'll be around to watch what happens next.